So this past Christmas, we were able to spend 6 days in Sihhu, Taiwan. We have a team of 15 people, 12 from our church, and also 3 from, let me show it bigger, yes. So we have a team of 15 people. We have 12 from our church, not including Fungyee. Fungyee is the 13th one, but also 3 from Hong Kong. And those 3, we have John and Tina, the couple and their daughter on this side. They're from Hong Kong, but originally they're from mainland China. And our church has been supporting them to study in seminary for around 5 years, I believe, in Hong Kong to get prepared. And well, they're serving in a Alliance church in Hong Kong right now, but this is the first time we actually get to partner with them to go to a place. So it's a joyous time. It's a joyful time for all of us to be able to see them, to serve with them. We went to Sihhu. As you heard from Dawn and Rachel, it's the poorest county in Taiwan, and so yeah, we stay in a nearby town where we need to pump our own water. Oh wait, no, that's Cambodia. I mixed up. we met up in Taipei. We traveled 3 hours down to yeah. Yeah, that's wait, yeah, that's Taiwan. I mixed that up. We stay in a really nice hotel. You may be wondering why was there a nice hotel in the middle of a village like that? And the answer was because most of the people who go to that hotel like to visit nearby temples. There are 2 major temples in that area, so people will go and do their bye-bye to worship the gods. And actually one day when we were there, the entire hotel was occupied with people who are doing the idol worship, but at the same time they have a marathon celebrating the birthday of one of the Buddha. Yeah. And well, Don and Rachel remind us a verse from Jonah 2:8. Those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them. And I think that's the reason why Don and Rachel and the Alliance Mission chose that place. It's not an easy place. It's a really tough place to reach people's heart to heart. But yeah, it's a slow work there. So every day we travel, our whole team in a minivan and another car to. It took about 20 minutes from the hotel to the church, Sihhu Church. We did a few things. This trip is quite task-oriented, and this is the Santa Claus in the morning. Some of you may recognize him. Yes. And we went to the market. Actually, the church is on the same street as the market, so we just walked straight down, and we did caroling. We passed out flyers. We sang with permission. Yeah, we asked the owner of the store or the restaurant, and then yeah, we sang in front of the restaurant. We did at night as well. We pre-arranged a few families, and they allow us to sing in front of their home or their stores. Yeah, you may see the Santa Claus at night. He looks more like Santa Claus. Yeah, because yeah, Don is more natural in doing that. And by the way, every year around Christmas time, he will intentionally leave the beard so that he can be the Santa Claus of the town. Yeah. We also did a evangelistic meeting. On one night, this is actually a elementary school in one of those multi-purpose room. We borrowed the place, and then they allow us to borrow the place. It's quite amazing. It's a public school, but they allow us as a Christian church to borrow that place. We got good attendance. We got Santa Claus again. We did a skit, and one couple did particularly well. I mean, it's so real that and then on that, so that was Saturday night, and then on Sunday was December the 24th this year. So we led a Christmas worship. John was preaching, and and we had a wonderful meal together with the whole congregation. So that's pretty much what we did, and I'll give this time to the Ng sister to share more about her personal experience.
Alrighty, good morning, I'm Elise, and so this Taiwan trip was actually my first mission trip ever. So I was really excited. I was praying to God, how would you use me as a teenager to go across the world to serve at this local church? And so before this trip, I didn't really know what I would be doing, but I just knew that I had a willing heart to serve for God and just see how He would use me. Okay, so that's just our team again. That's in front of the local church. Okay, so this is basically on the second day. A couple of us from the team, we went to Pastor Fungyee's house to fellowship with a couple of the moms from the church, and we were basically there to bake, to make cupcakes and nougat, and to just fellowship with them. And our main goal was to just meet these women and to talk with them, get to know them before Christmas time and all the festivities. And God gave me this opportunity at this time to be able to create a relationship with them, and not only with their moms, but also with their children. And so, in the middle picture, that is Fan Fan, and the bottom right, that is Han Han. And so, Han Han is 11 months old. She's really adorable. They're both really cute. And so I spent a couple hours with them, just playing with them, trying to talk with them in broken Mandarin. And it was great just being able to form that relationship with them before our outreach event and Christmas Eve Sunday service. And so here are a bunch of pictures with some of the people we met, and it was great. God gave me the opportunity to bond, especially with the children in this church. And actually, this church is still growing. There's around, I want to say 30 people, but more than half of them were children. And so, we were able to minister and be able to fellowship with them. And I think God allowed us to create this relationship with Him working in between. So I remember last week when Rachel was here, she said, missions is not only just, spreading the word of God, but also just creating that relationship first so God can come through and work in their lives. And so these children, there were around 15 to 20 the Sunday we were there, and it ranged from 11 months to 11 years old. And so they're still pretty young, and they all basically go to the same elementary school. in the picture before where we were having our outreach event, that was the elementary school that they all went to. And so it was just really amazing to see how close the community was. Some of them would just come by themselves. Their parents would drop them off, or they would go to another church, or they would just go back home. And besides school, church was the place where these kids would grow their friendship, and they would just be comfortable with each other. And it was really cool to see because they were all loving Christ together, and they were all growing up in Christ. And it was just really encouraging to see this young and growing church filled with such young hearts, and that they want to be in community with Christ and also with each other. And so there's this one verse. It's from Mark chapter 10, verse 14. It says, "He said to them, 'Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these.'" And so these little children in this church have a large role in his kingdom, and I truly believe that God has a role for each of us, whether it be in this local church, in this small village in Taiwan, or in our daily lives at school or work or at home. And so I pray that I'm thankful that God allowed me to be like the little children, and to humble ourselves, to put him first and to trust in him. And yeah, I'm really thankful for this trip. And yeah.
Hello, I'm Erin. And I wanted to share a little bit of what I learned on this trip. And I think as I was reflecting on it, it kind of revealed, this trip, I think God really revealed more of my shortcomings more than anything to myself. And through that, I think he kind of graciously showed me that he was still the one that was going to use those shortcomings for his glory. So as Newman was saying, this was a very task-oriented trip. We went in knowing exactly what we were going to do. We had really only 5 days there. We were doing the street ministry, passing out flyers, and also the Christmas program. So I think it was very easy for me personally to come in thinking, okay, we have these things we want to get done. We have a short amount of time. We want to make it count. I want to be efficient, and I want to, I want to get in and do this for God and do something for the kingdom. And I think that led me to a lot of a little bit of worry. I wouldn't say a lot, but a bit of worry of logistics and okay, we gotta do this program. Are we going to do this skit well? Is my Mandarin really, really horrible? Is my piano really horrible? Is, all these things that I think we kind of came in planning to do. Even though we had, as a team, really made it an effort to be okay, we know we're not going to be doing anything crazy. We had the mindset and the attitude, come in knowing that it's not about you. But even still, I think the temptation is to think, maybe if we did X, Y, or Z a little bit more, or if I, practiced my Mandarin more or something, that somehow that would contribute more and it would be more efficient. So I think when we were in our debrief and we were on our last day, and Newman was challenging us and asking us okay, what was God really showing to you? I was a little bit disappointed because I was I didn't feel like anything huge happened. I didn't think that, I didn't see anything miraculous in the sense that we think of the word. Did I make the most of my time here? Was I, did I do the most that I can with the 5 days? And as I reflected on this, I think it really God really confronted me with my thoughts about him and how I sometimes put him in a box. And even though I'm okay, God, use me in any way possible, show me the things that you want to show me, I think I come in with an agenda still, and I think I even assume what I think I will learn, and in that way kind of rob God of that glory of being able to be no, let me show you what I want to show you. So God had a really funny way of like humbling me as we were in our debrief and talking to Fungyee and asking her how she thought the trip went. She kind of showed us or revealed to us that the things that we definitely didn't plan for and the things that we didn't even notice or thought were weaknesses were actually things that ended up being big encouragements. Like, we in the beginning were actually really not sure about bringing 15 people. That's pretty aggressive. Like, their church is 30 people, we bring in 15 people. We were really like, oh, that's maybe not a good idea. That's like, how are they gonna house us? Like, there's just too many logistics that we have to think of. But it ended up being really encouraging for that church, just seeing that 15 people would be willing to come during Christmas and just be in community with them. And I ended up feeling kind of guilty about that, because I was like, honestly, that's not that, like, we came because it's like Christmas, it's like vacation time. Like, it'd be hard if we came in, like, I don't know, March or something. Like, I ended up thinking like, wow, I can't believe that was what like encouraged them so much, this large group that we thought was a shortcoming. A shortcoming. Things that I didn't think about, like, even our whole group was couples and like my family, and I didn't think much of that, but being there, we noticed that there were many women in the church and their kids, but a lot of people's husbands and wouldn't be there. So I think even hearing that the image of just what family and family serving together can look like as an encouragement really encouraged me, because I literally did not think about that. That was not even something that I was like, oh yeah, that's a real strength of this team. And I was like, oh, we're musical. Like, that's a strength. Like, let's use that to, like, for God's glory. But God was like, no, like, that's, you know, like, there are other things I want to show you. Another thing was, our Mandarin was like okay-ish. Mine was pretty bad. Like, I don't know. That ended up being a thing that allowed us to connect with the kids, because they found it so funny that we were so bad at it that I think that night at our Christmas service, like, we just could, like, I was like, I wish I could talk to them. I want to just be with them and like be in community, and I just couldn't. It was really frustrating. But even just asking them, like, oh, how do you say this or how do you say that? They found that so funny, and that ended up being something that made them want to hang out with us more and come out on Sunday. I don't even know if they were regulars on Sunday, but they all showed up. I think you see them on the bottom left. They're the ladies in pink. Yeah, and even things that I was like, oh, this seems excessive. Like, we would go out for like a bunch of xiaolongbao and like eat a whole bunch, but Fungyee told us that even just coming in as a big group and dining at these local establishments, like, these people remember you and remember how you guys were with each other and how you guys loved each other even while dining. So just hearing these things made me realize, yeah, like, I come in with an agenda, and God kind of makes you feel silly for, I think, coming in with that agenda, and just he just wanted really to show me that the things that I wanted to accomplish, I wanted to get done, were first of all things that he was going to get done on his own terms, and that I just get the privilege of saying yes and joining in on missions. Yeah, so I think that was a really, really big lesson for me. Taiwan was honestly comfortable. Like, you saw, like, our conditions, and I think comfortable just not even physically, but even mentally, because we came in, again, knowing what we were going to do, knowing that we had a plan. But I think having that experience really challenged me to, or God really challenged me to say yes when things are unsure. Like, would I say yes again if I didn't know that we had these plans? Would I say yes again if it wasn't comfortable like that? And yeah, he was just really teaching me to say yes, not because I know what's happening, I know the results, and I know how to be efficient, but to say yes because he's always sovereign and that he is faithful. So yeah, overall, it's a really great experience. I really hope that, I don't know, it encourages you to say yes also to things that are unsure and scary, because yeah, God will use what little you can do and what little you think, or much you don't think you can bring much, but like what little you do bring, like, God will still use it, and all the weaknesses you bring, he will still use. So thank you.